my God. Okay, there, everything loaded. Everything wasn't loading at first. Hi, welcome to the Goths Next Door. Let me put locks on all these things in OBS. Hi.
Hey, sexies.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, gang.
Hi. Welcome. Sasha.
Welcome back, fam. My name is Sasha Massacre, your favorite goth model extraordinaire.
I'm Melissa Morbid, like my cup says. Thank you, Shay. Love
this. I'm Shay. Hi, I'm your goth momager.
I'm Angela Undead. I didn't really prepare a little description.
She's hot. She's our hot goth makeup artist.
She's hot.
Extraordinaire.
Artist extraordinaire.
I'm hot.
Our professional makeup artist of
she was
another
born to
caliber.
Yeah. I forgot I'm an actress. Sorry.
Yeah. And this way. No, this way. Let me hold my hands this way. This is Lindsay Schoolcraft. The amazing, the wonderful, the beautiful, the talented.
We've all been waiting for this. We've all been so excited. The legend, the beauty, the talent, the mystery.
Maybe, but thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys. This is so exciting. I've wanted to be here for a hot minute.
Oh my gosh.
You are like one of the number one people we have been waiting for to have on here. Like
Absolutely.
We are so insanely stoked. Oh shit. I'm trying to open the fucking chat. Sorry. That's why my brain's
I haven't
gathered.
even opened up the chat. That's a good point.
I'm seeing this.
Now
it's happening here.
So
it is, but it isn't.
Do you stream at all? Like, are you into streaming?
Me?
Yeah.
I am always stuck behind this computer over here, writing and recording new music. So streaming, no, I actually only do stuff on my Patreon now. I'm kind of low key just chilling in the background these days.
By the way, if you're not a patron of hers, you should be. Her Patreon is
Y'all
fire.
better subscribe now.
She's got great content. And she's always in touch. You're always sending messages. I'm always like, damn, she's on top of her shit.
Well, I mean, deadlines are terrifying. You don't want to piss anyone off.
No, that's very true. That's how I.
No, you're on top of shit.
That's why I have calendars and memos and color coordinated pens. I guess that's on theme with our work theme. So this week we're talking about women working and women in the industry. And I couldn't come up with a catchier name. If I could have, I would have. But yeah, we all work and we all identify as women. So that's the shit.
I think that's really catchy, Shay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I was gonna say something because I wanted to be inclusive, but then I realized we all just. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Lindsay, do you just identify as a woman? I'm sorry, I didn't ask at a time. I should have.
Oh, I identify as a potato.
Okay, that's perfect.
No, I definitely full on female, straight as a board.
Okay, yeah.
Born women, good with being a woman. The end.
Maybe in the future, though, I would definitely love to open up and talk to more people about working in the industry from all kinds of different aspects. We're gonna start here, and I'm really excited because you have done so much work in the industry. You've been working in the industry for I'm not age. I just realized what direction that was going in, and I'm not aging you. So it's so cool that you graduated high school last year, and you are but you have the longest IMDb and resume ever.
Welcome to adulthood.
Welcome to adulthood.
Shoot. Yeah, it's been happening for a while now. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. No, that's very kind of you. No, I'm proud to say, I know some of you are Pisces here. I just turned 37, and I am not ashamed of my age. I've been doing this 22 years, and I think with the time comes all this experience and knowledge and weird ass stories. So I don't miss high school. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but
No, you're absolutely right. I'm 33 and I love it. I'm having a great time.
Yeah, it's a good age. 30s rock.
Yeah, I feel less pressure. Oh my gosh, we got to a level 1 hype train. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of our wonderful friends for coming.
Let's fucking go. Oh, they're great.
Yeah, we
Hi,
definitely
guys.
need some weird ass stories in here. We'll get
Come
into
on, hype train.
We do have some questions prepared for you because we're going to get to know Lindsay first, and then we're going to dive in and talk about just work in general from our perspective. Excuse me, I need some water. But Sasha, do you want to start with the first question? Queen of Queens.
No.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Lindsay, let me ask you this. We want our audience to get to know you. Okay. So what are some key highlights about you and your career? You know, like, can you talk a little bit about your background? When did you start? You know, what's your education like? You know, how did you get into the field that you're in?
That's a really good question. Well, I've been a workhorse since the age of 15. I think that like has something to do with it, but I just like decided this is what I want to do and I'm going to dive into it fully. And I have a lot of friends in high school. I found out like recently, well, I like last year, I'm actually autistic. So like that explains why I only had like a few little homies and I didn't really go out and party, and I'd lock myself in my room and be like, okay, I gotta not suck at my instruments. Like that's like rule number one. Like if you want to do this, you have to not suck. So I started there, but I'd say the most important thing was networking. I had this like really crappy all-girl punk band in high school called Princess Riot, but because of MySpace, I networked this shit out of us, and I got us on Warped Tour in 05 and 06.
Oh, okay, come on.
Yeah, mainly Canadian dates. But like, you know, it was all about the hustle. And then I went to university for classical music. I absolutely hated it, but I was like, I gotta like not suck at what I do. So I got to keep going. And during that time, because of networking, I joined this like huge band called Cradle of Filth. And I was with them for 7 years. And during that time, again, it's just all about like, you know, being pleasant and lovely and helping one another. And I feel like that's really how I've established myself and have made it a full-time career.
Amazing.
I have to say, you are one of the loveliest people I haven't worked with you, but I've ever interacted with. So that is true. Also, hi, Redcoat Kez. Hell, hi.
Hi, Kez.
Hello, Redcoat Kez. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. You are like definitely one of the sweetest and most genuine people I've talked to in the music industry, period. And, you know, I feel like you're just a total powerhouse and an amazing voice for women and femmes and, you know, people in alternative and metal music.
You make me cry. I did this eyeshadow just for you.
That's my job, to make people cry.
You're so sweet. I was like, what kind of people are you talking to that are so awful? Like how, like is my industry that bad?
No, but we can get into that later.
All right. I'm down for that.
Next question.
All right. Can you tell us how old you were when you first got involved with the music industry, and what steps did you take to get your foot in the door?
I was 15.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
15, like playing bars before 9 o'clock in my city here that I grew up. And I was like this all girl punk band. And they're like, you can play, but at 9 o'clock, you got to be out of here. You got to get all your gear off the stage. You got to go home. But it was great because like they put us on like first when everyone is pre-drinking. So we opened for like some pretty cool acts. We were like the warm up, like the ultimate warm up band. Like they remember us because they were so sober. So I started, I wish they didn't. I'm sure some of them are traumatized. Like we were very like Jack Off Jill meets Letters to Cleo, but like really bad.
Oh hell yeah. God, that description is epic.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was really fun, really catchy tunes, and just a lot of yelling and playing our instruments, really like breaking the strings or playing them so hard. So I played bass, by the way, and sang. So, and then I just started studying the industry. There was this book called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Business, but back then it was like the 2nd edition. Now we're on the 10th, and I just started reading, and that's how I made it work. And Mel, I totally forgot the second half of that question. It's late. My brain no worky.
Don't worry. We can repeat whatever questions.
The
next half was, what steps did you take to get your foot in the door?
Honestly, there's this quote flying around in like the entrepreneurial space that says like opportunity is luck meets preparation. And I was just prepared and in the right place at the right time when these things happen. Like that's, it's just really what it comes down to. You kind of have to be top of mind with people who are like really movers and shakers in your industry. Like, this person is like on time, organized, easy to work with, doesn't mind a challenge, maybe building their resume and can do it like sadly undercutting the other guy, but it's like creative industries is going to happen. And if like people know that, they're probably going to call you.
So true.
That's a great quote. Like I love that. Opportunity and being prepared.
Chat, you better clip that and remember.
Yeah, I literally wrote down a timestamp so I could clip it out because I was like, I need to remember this.
Yeah, like that's fantastic advice.
Yeah, I was like, oh damn, that's good. Sorry, I was so blown away. I totally forgot it's my turn to ask a question. Okay. You're like over here giving a TED talk, and I'm like, yeah, taking notes. Oh my god. Okay.
I am here for it. I know.
Text me after.
Yeah, seriously. What are some career highlights for you? Like, what are some big memorable moments that like just for you?
I need a minute because I've had so many. I've been so damn blessed. So blessed in this space. Like oh my God. Like I hated Cradle of Filth in high school, but it was still one of the coolest things I've ever done. And during that time, I got to perform for and meet like Ice-T and Danzig and like so many cool people.
Okay.
So cool. Yeah. Like the top of the tops in heavy metal. And I've got to talk with them and learn from them. I think two of the biggest ones that have happened so far that I'm just like, this happened? Like, I still don't believe it is. My first album, I co-produced with Rocky Gray, who is the original drummer of Evanescence. He was a big part of their upbringing and the Fallen record, which was like their biggest record. Wow. Him and I did a whole album together. Wow. And he's just
insane.
I have to pinch myself. I'm like, what? And we still text each other on the regular. We're working on a new album right now. And I'm just so like, how did this happen? But I put it on a vision board like 15 years ago saying, I'm going to work with Evanescence one day. And this is kind of like
manifested it.
Yes.
That. I knew you were a witch.
Just come on, universe, give it to me. I'm ready. I'm here in my football gear. Come on. There was that. And then the second biggest one was working with Motionless in White, because I have admired the shit out of Chris in that band for years. And when he contacted me, I'm like, are you for real right now? So doing Cyberhex and oh my God, why can't I forget the other song? Thank you. I'm really tired, guys. Don't hate me for forgetting the second song.
No, it's fine.
They're going to tell me in the chat. Because you know what? They got my back. But it's the look into the darkness or stare into the darkness or whatever.
God, which one is that?
God, I don't know. I should know that too.
I'm not good with names.
We're all tired now.
It reminded me of like
Justin do that song, Corpse Nation.
Corpse Nation. Thank you,
chat.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was just like a big what the hell moment. Did we lose Mel?
Did Melissa disappear?
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know where she went. Uh-oh. We lost our Melly. Shit.
Well, fuck.
Oh, hang on.
I
got her back.
Wow.
Getting her back.
It's not a stream if we don't have something going on, y'all.
Right? There's always
seriously.
A thing.
You know how it goes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my buddy, one of my best friends, Brad Seed, is here. Hi, Brad.
I was gonna say thank you, Mr. Bradley Seed, for the for the answers.
Yes, you are a genius,
Mr. Seed.
Mr. Seed.
Hi, Melissa. Can you see us?
Hey, Mel.
Are you back? I hope you guys enjoy my coffee ASMR.
I love it.
Oh, I can join you on that one too.
Oh my God, wait, I love your mug.
What? My friend Gaia sent me it for my birthday because we always joke, like, I would stab a bitch for you. Like, I love you so much.
I fucking love that.
And that's exact. I can just like hear the accent of the cat saying that. Just it's like what? Like I don't know. It's just like a what? Yeah, like a what? Like that's just what the cat's saying.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to describe it.
That's him. His little googly eyes.
It's the it mug.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's Miss Undead's turn to ask a question.
So, where do you draw inspiration for music? Like bands, or is there a certain artist? What inspired you?
For the longest time, it was definitely like old school Evanescence. That was like my mecca of inspiration. But then as I got older and they changed a little bit, I really like this artist. His name's John Crosby. He's from Seattle, but he goes by Vast Video Audio Sensory Theater. And he mixes like world music with grunge rock. And it's the coolest shit I've ever heard. There's like these big strings and like tribal choirs, and it's super nerdy. It just, it really, he had a song on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was Touched. You'll recognize it the minute you hear it. You'll be like, oh, I remember this. It was a way back throwback. But yeah, I find just with Spotify is amazing. Like you can find so much new music so quickly. So Bad Omens is one. Shay, I know you're not crazy about them, but Bad Omens is one that I love the production of because I like The Weeknd. And then what else is inspiring me right now? Like Spirit Box, but then there's also a lot of electronic artists. So yeah.
Spirit Box is so good.
So good.
When I heard her voice live, I felt like I was ascending.
Right?
Like that chick is so fucking talented. I was like, damn. And they're playing before Ghosts. Like I really am in church. It was very like I felt rebirthed.
I love that. So good. I definitely got goosebumps when I saw them live. It was amazing. But yeah, if there's like nothing swimming around, sorry, just down that thought, if there's like nothing swimming around for inspiration, I just go watch Bjork live or listen to a weird Bjork album. And that's it. I'm like, I am inspired again. I can be whatever I want to be. She's yelling over top of beats. Why can't I?
Period.
I mean, honestly, she's
that's so real.
Else.
Yeah, she is from another planet. Definitely. I don't want to meet her. Yeah. I've met too many of my idols, and I'm like, you can stay pristine and weird like you're from Venus, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Fair.
So next question. What are some of your favorite aspects about working in the music industry?
I think the most, there's so many. I mean, getting to dress up and look awesome is definitely somewhere on the list, and being creative with that, that's so much fun. Mainly like making the music and building these connections with my fans. My fans actually they keep me inspired when they write into me and tell me about what they're going through, what they've been through. I love connecting with my fans, but also traveling, really love traveling. And of course the live show. I'm just so itching to get back up on stage. It's like, oh, it's been too long. So, but I mean, yeah, it's not that bad of a place. It's unfortunate to hear when sometimes people are like, oh, like people in the industry are rude and arrogant. And I just kind of flow with my own tribe of really cool people. And it's been actually quite fun, and we all kind of inspire and motivate one another. So my little contained safe pocket of the internet. One of them here being Brad, who's reminding me that I work for him right now. Thanks, Brad. We can kill the vibe. I assist his management, and I enjoy it. I was forgetting about you for an hour or two. Thanks, Brad. Probably blowing up my phone.
He's like, you better stay in contact with me forever.
He's actually said that. Like the first week we became friends, he's like, you have to be my friend forever. And then he called me the other day, and he's like, he called me at like 10 o'clock at night to tell me about something he was really excited about. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I'm stuck with you forever, aren't I? He's like, yeah, until I die, because we know I'm going to die first.
Oh, damn. What? Oh my God. Oh my God.
wow.
Thank you, Nikki Murph
gosh,
13.
yes. Thank you, Nikki Murphy. Or Nikki Murph 13. Thank you.
Ooh la la. What's going on
Amazing.
here?
Melissa. Oh. Now I have to hear that sound in my head over and over and over. The sub sound. I'm not mad about it.
Yep.
I set it up, but that's me.
I still never get to hear it. When
It's a pretty
does
cool
the thing.
sound.
Yeah, I have an idea of what it is. I don't have the pleasure of hearing it go off every time somebody does the thing.
I don't mind it. My problem is that it then blocks out y'all's audio and I have to guess what you're saying. I have to guess what you're saying and be like, yes.
Yes.
I mean, I feel
that.
like you have to do that in general when I talk. You have to just be like, what is she even talking about?
Sasha's talking again. Just smile and nod. Yes, girl.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, you're doing so good. Did you remember to eat
Yeah, whatever
today?
you said. Eat air.
Melissa, did you?
Ellie, we can't hear you.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Your audio's off.
Oh no.
Melly, come back. Don't
Well,
blame it all on me.
Oh my god.
Start screaming.
I was gonna start singing that.
Can't tell I'm really sleep deprived, so this is great.
I have her mic on and everything.
strange.
I wish I understood.
These
Twitch.
things are very, very dumb. She's not even coming up on this cam though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see levels on anything. Oh no. Oh my god, she's like a real life goth Ariel. No. Something must have happened when you got booted off. Should you leave and come back? I don't even know how to. Do I like mute you and unmute you? I'm gonna try that. Melissa?
Hello.
Oh,
Hello?
yes.
Oh.
Oh my god. Okay.
There you are.
Hey. Okay. Figured
Oh
it out.
my
I'm
gosh.
so sorry about that. everybody.
Hi. That makes a lot more sense now because I asked the question like 5 times in a row and I was like, what? Hello?
I'm
Why is no
sorry.
answering?
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
asking a question, but now it makes sense. It's just
I'm
Twitch
sorry, honey.
failing.
Twitch being lame.
Oh my God, Sally, that's so sweet. So we are going off of Sasha's question. What are your least favorite aspects of working in the music industry?
Oh, that you're itching at my pet peeves. What? Oh God, this could go so bad.
Yeah. I know.
One thing I need a break from is social media. I've been doing social media full time for a decade. Since like 2013 is when I joined Cradle, and I was like I was helping run their social media accounts while I was in the band, and also like pumping out my own content. But it's like it gets exhausting after a while, and that's like something that I'm like I really just want to be more like in my own little world and like disconnected from the internet and like creating, that's why I've been hiding behind this computer and making new music. But that's like something I'm not a big fan of. My other thing that I'm not like, there's 2 things. I got to be careful how I say this. There's 2 things that are absolutely like the justice warrior in me just wants to go to war over. And that is gatekeeping and people who can't do their job properly. There are so many people that say they are a certain title and and just in practice, they're a disaster. And the thing is like they hinder and destroy artists' careers. And that is my biggest issue with our industry. I think specifically, our industry needs more and better music managers, people who actually do the job and do it well. I know there are quite a few and it's great, but usually they're all taken and their artists are thriving. But like when you say you're a music manager, like it's not just like you take 20% and you check in every 2 weeks and you maybe answer 1 email. Like it's like I call my manager my momager because it's a full-time commitment.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then the gatekeeping, those who are like really nasty and probably narcissists and say like, well, like they really just down on people. And those who are young or inexperienced, like take them seriously and then get these ideas in their head that they're not good enough or they can't accomplish anything without this person. And those are my biggest issues with the industry. But overall, because I have my little contained happy bubble, like I enjoy it like 80% of the time.
That's so good.
Yeah. So, occasionally you have to deal with a stinker, but as long as you know how to deal with the stinker.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fair.
Definitely.
Okay. So last year you released the 10th anniversary edition of your album Rushing Through the Sky. And being able to like re-release an album 10th anniversary, like what is that like? Can you like walk us through that and like what that feels like having an imprint, like, and knowing that your fans like are out there buying it and saving it, they're buying like the vinyls, they're into all of it, like that's crazy. Like they're just like, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Why are you? Don't apologize. I'm like having a moment. It's like the first thought was, man, I'm old. Like that was like the first thought. I was like, I've been doing this a hot ass minute. Like this is too long. And then I started thinking about what I wanted to do for the 20th anniversary. And I'm like, okay, whoa. We have to think about today. So yeah, we didn't have it on vinyl. And my manager was so lovely and was like, let's get it all sorted. Because at that time, it was like the whole vinyl crisis. It took like 8 to 10 months to get your vinyl printed. And that's why so many album cycles are so long now and so delayed. And they put out all the freaking singles. So we had a connection and they did it for us like really quick. But I went back and I actually like listened to it. And I was just like, you know what? I did okay for like how old was I? 24?
I think
when I great. Like, thank you. I was like really young, 26. I think I wrote it from 24 to 26, released at 27. I'm like having to think back now, but I was like, it's chill. It's not rock. It's like a really chilled out, like new age ballad type gothy thing. It's just very chill. But it was really weird. But the fact that people were like, yay, it's back on Spotify and I can buy it on vinyl. I'm like, cool. If you're happy, I'm happy. So it was weird. Yeah.
So special.
All righty. So do you have any advice for women and non-binary viewers who want to get involved in the music industry? Do you have any words of caution?
My best advice is surround yourself with strong, independent, intelligent people like you, non-binary or other women, who can guide you and be there for you and mentor you and not make you feel so alone. I think my female relationships in my industry are some of the most like I nurture and like they're so I don't know how to say it. I'm so grateful for them, but they're so precious to me to be able to call up someone and be like, this happened. And these guys over here in the green room who smell right now, they don't care. And they don't understand. But I can call you right now and bitch about this and you will understand. And having that, or someone to lift you up when you're feeling sad, because like guys, like some men are, but for the most part, in my experience, they're not that in their feels. So if you're having like a feelsy day and you're just like, I just need to be emotional with someone, like you can call these women. And I think, that's been like, I cherish that. That's the word I was looking for. I cherish that the most. It's been what's like got me through some of the dark ages and the tough times and whatever you want to call it. Words of caution. I think my best advice is, how do I say this? If you're asking questions, like you're going to maybe sign this deal or you're going to work with this person or you're going to hire this person and you're asking questions and they're not answering them or they can't give you an answer, they don't know what they're doing or they're shady and they're scamming you, just don't work with them. Because if someone values you and wants to work with you, they're going to be able to answer all your questions. And it's good that you ask questions because then you'll be able to do your job better. But if like you're asking like, hey, what about this? And what about that? And there's like, oh yeah, whatever. And like they can't give you an answer, something shady is going on, or they really have no idea what they're doing with their job. So that's my caution, so to say.
That's solid advice. And
I'd say
so good.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
I'm glad
get
to hear
shit
that.
in writing.
Yes, contracts.
Yeah.
Contracts.
Always.
And reread it, triple read it. Even if you have a professional who reads stuff for you, check it yourself.
Save a copy.
Mm-hmm.
Save a copy. Keep it on
Digital
file.
printed.
I feel like it's a very underrated thing to have shit in writing because you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
So,
Even if it seems like something obvious, having it in writing is so smart.
I am a nice girl. I wrote it down. No. Then I'll bring that up later. When I'm beating myself up, I'll be like, you told yourself earlier you were a nice girl. You wrote it down. It's written down. No, it's true, though. Like, anything written, it's more solid. It just makes more sense. I'm a handwritten kind of person. I love anything handwritten.
Ooh, me too.
But I guess now we can go into our next portion where it's gonna be a group discussion about working in the industry. I thought we could start by we can discuss each of the Goths Next Door about what we've been doing in the industry, like when we got started and how we find work and some of our favorite and least favorite aspects. Sasha, since you're at the beginning of the frame, do you wanna start us out?
Do I ask my own questions?
I can ask you the questions, like
or do you want to ask the questions interviewee?
I can interview you. Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter. I could ask myself.
Well, you're a model and a stylist. Like, when did you get started?
I mean, I guess I've been modeling on and off pretty much my entire life. Like when I was a little kid, even I would always get approached by people because my mom liked to dress me up. I've always been very stylish. But I started like really getting into it, I guess, within the last 10 years. I think I started taking it a little more seriously, and it's been a very on and off thing. And as far as being like a stylist, I've been a stylist professionally for like a year and a half. I've also done makeup for other people. I've done work within the music industry, obviously not as a musician, but I've done a lot. I am kind of like a jack of many trades. But yeah, I guess like a decade.
Wow.
Damn.
And can I ask what styling is? Like, I want to clarify what like you're a stylist, I'm assuming.
People are my dress up dolls. I dress up.
Okay. Okay, that's sick.
People are my dress up dolls. I make them.
You.
I put them in their clothes.
Thank you, Jess.
All right, that now it all makes. I'm gonna call you next time I'm having a wardrobe crisis.
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I got you. And when you're back on tour, I got you.
I love you.
Clothes,
thank you.
Whatever you want, I got you.
I'm hiring all of you.
Honor.
You're gonna be my team.
I got you.
What's Goths Next Door doing here? Oh, they're just Lindsay's crew. We paid to have them on tour. They're just here.
Absolutely.
We are the fucking crew.
We're ready.
Okay, it's happening.
Just let me know. My bags are fucking packed.
Brilliant. It's on.
Honestly, like, I do think we should go on tour, and I do think you should be on our tour, like a huge tour, like, because you should lead, and then we'll just like be your support act of like we'll run like your VIP stuff and like help run the show and have a meet and greet at the beginning. Little mixer where we can all chill.
I feel like we need to also have like a show that we have that's like the four of us.
Yeah,
like,
we open for her.
a
comedy act.
comedy.
Yeah.
It's just us standing there because we're comedic to look at, and then she goes on. And then we're like, there's Lindsay!
People point and laugh. We'll be like your Flavor Flav. We're your hype women.
We're your Flavor Flav.
Yeah. I'll wear the big clock,
Yes.
you know, I'll wear the Viking helmet, I'll run on stage and start yelling at everybody. Like, I got you.
I'll find a way to get y'all to just like not necessarily dance, but have these giant bat wings. You can just come out during songs. Like kind of like showgirls, but gothic showgirls.
As long as I can still wear a clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. It'll be like a proper grandfather clock. Like
It'll be like, and it'll have like spikes on it and shit.
So we're doing this. I'm holding you to this. I don't care.
I'm down.
I told you my bags are packed.
Someone's gonna have I'm gonna have to have someone watch Mia, so you know, hopefully my mom. But if not, Dan, our dog, is gonna be a very good babysitter. She'll be raised by wolves.
I think he's good.
I trust Dan with my life.
Hell yeah. Sasha, what are How did you get started in your industry? Like doing what you do?
How did I get started?
Like,
I mean, I
just-
guess just being in LA a lot. I always kind of have been somebody that's dressed up pretty eccentric. And back then I had a bit more of an image because I had very bright, vibrant black and red hair, and it was very eye-catching. And I was always at shows. I was at every concert. So people just kind of knew who I was, and I started getting hit up for gigs. I started forming really good friendships. I was hosting a lot of events, a lot of clubs. I was always working conventions. You know, it was kind of like a domino effect of things. But I feel like the key component of it was just, you know, the friendships I've made through it. Because, you know, being in LA, everybody's an artist of some sort.
This is true. Yeah. And what are some of your favorite and least favorite things?
I feel like my favorite things about it is kind of like what Lindsay said, just being able to dress up, having that be part of what I do for a living, and getting to wear what I want, do what I want. And just the very self-expressive aspect of it. I feel like that would be like my number one favorite. And then my least favorite would probably be the misogyny that comes with it. You know, you're kind of, especially when you're modeling, you're viewed as an object. Everybody kind of feels like that they have some sort of access to you or the right to say what they want about you. Especially men, you know, they feel like, you know, you kind of belong to the public in a way, which sounds weird, but, you know, they feel like, oh, well, you know, you take pictures for a living, right? You know, or, you know, when you're standing at a convention or even working at a show, because I've worked at shows for bands and stuff, you're kind of just standing there promoting. So, you know, the misogyny is definitely my least favorite. I feel like another thing Lindsay said, like having your own tight-knit crew and like people you could trust is like the key to navigating it well. Yeah, it's rough in that way.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for sharing with the class, Sasha. Snaps for Sasha.
Very good.
Melissa.
Take a snap for every time I say
Nah, you did great.
Sure.
Yeah, it was good.
So for me, I've been acting since as long as I can remember. I think my first play, I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I just continued to do plays forever after that. When I was little, I knew I wanted to grow up and move to Los Angeles. And I like saved all my little birthday monies that I would get and stuff. And be like, someday I'm going to use this to go to LA. Been planning it like my whole life. Modeling was like a dream for a really long time. But for the longest time, I didn't feel like it was something that I could achieve with like societal norms and how I looked at the time. So that's a more recent thing. Even though when I was younger, I really had like a really strong passion and desire for it. I just didn't think it was viable. So it was just focusing on theater, acting, film, television, singing, that sort of thing. So modeling was more when I moved to LA. I feel like that's where I started dipping my toes in the water and feeling how that is. I got signed to several different agencies. So that's most of how I get my auditions and castings is through either my agents or using a casting website like Casting Networks, Actors Access, Casting Frontier, things like that. They post different postings for castings for modeling and auditions for acting stuff. So that's how I get the work. Let's see. Said when I got started. Favorite aspect, I think for modeling, I'm going to be echoing Sasha and Lindsay, that having like people transform you and like getting to look like a totally different way and wear really cool clothes, really cool makeup. When I was on Access Hollywood and I was like a modern day Jessie Spano, they did like curls like for days. And it was so cool. I was like, wow, look at my hair. Like I would never be able to do that to my own hair. That was so much fun and so cool. And some of the outfits I've gotten to wear, some that I would never be able to wear in my own life. I think that's my favorite part with modeling. Acting, I think it's so hard to describe, but it's just when you're in it, it is the best feeling. Like I'm getting emotional just talking about it. Recently, when I was in my first TV pilot, it was just the best day. The best day. This one commercial that I did was just one of my favorite days of my life. It's just incredible getting to transform, be a different person. I love making people laugh too. So if it's a comedy and it's something like that, so being really something totally different from myself or being myself and funny, I really love that. So I think the physical transformation with modeling, and then it's like that mental, emotional transformation with acting and getting into that space and the people you work with and having a great cast and crew and director. It's the coolest feeling. It's just the best. With that, the least favorite aspect is what I like to think of as the work, which is the auditioning, the submitting, the social media, because when you're on set, it is work, but it's what I love to do. It's my play, Mm-hmm. So all of the difficulties up to it, I try and think of that as the work. Like, oh, I'm clocking in and now I'm submitting all day, submitting to 200 different auditions and then having to film self-tapes at home. It didn't used to be like this for actors. We used to go to our agent. They would put us on tape and then they would send it off. But now they expect us to be like a full production studio at home. Even for low paying gigs, like we're talking $150 pay, and they expect you to have professional lighting, sound, a perfect backdrop, perfect editing for your self-tape, just for the audition. It doesn't get used ever. It's just for them to look at you. And headshots are really expensive and they're very important. And they want you to have expensive ones. It's very exclusionary. I don't like that. I think we have amazing phones nowadays. Everyone has a phone, and I think it would be more beneficial to casting directors to be like, text me a picture of what you look like right now today, no editing. Headshots are like, versus making actors who are already struggling spend $2,000 on headshots that are airbrushed to death. And it's what you look like on that day, which could be totally different. If it's been 3 months, you might look like a different person. Mm-hmm. So true. I think that would be my least favorite part. And of course, echoing what Sasha said, the misogyny in entertainment is extremely difficult.
I hate it.
Yeah. It exists everywhere. Mm-hmm. If you are a woman in any work field, it's there.
Bad. I get sexually harassed on a 24/7 basis, whether it's online or in person. And it's unfortunate that for everybody, men, women, non-binary, et cetera, it's something that we don't have to because we shouldn't have to, but it's like something that we're getting used to, like, oh, it's the internet, but it shouldn't be like that. People should know better than to talk to another person like that.
People are getting too comfortable being online and hiding behind their keyboards.
Not even in person. Like, why are y'all like that? But online, because they feel like, oh, they can't touch me. They can't,
they can't touch me in the face.
Yeah. Can't claw my eyeballs out.
With your meat claws.
My big meaty claws.
It's true. I would not go toe to toe with
meaty claws.
I wish I could
go with her dogs.
My claw dogs. I'm not showing dogs. Not for free.
Nope. I work in social media and esports and video production. I do a lot of freelance stuff, and then I also run the social media for an esports team which is like their TikTok and Instagram and Facebook page and Twitter. And then I also do that for the nail salon I go to. And I also do that for my friend's podcast, The Not Safe Space, who we are going to be bringing on my friend from that podcast to here as a guest eventually. And then I also do the Goths Next Door. And then I do my own like Shadezilla stuff. So like I do a lot, which is I don't know how to stop working. So I don't know what to title myself as. That's why I'm like, I do a little bit of everything.
I feel like you're like 10 people in one.
I know. That's my problem is I don't know how to stop because like that's one of my favorite things is like I can do my job wherever. But like then I find myself like having a bubble bath and like using like the bath salts I've been waiting to use and all my bath bombs I've been dying to use. And then sitting there on my phone and on Canva and like making stuff for other people and finally editing that video I needed it. Like I have anything that I could be editing like on a professional piece of software. I have that same software on my phone, so I can't escape. So it's like my favorite and least favorite thing. Like I have so many jobs and I love being able to stay busy and I love being able to help people. And like I'm working with my friends, so I can't dog on it, but like it's a lot of work and I never know how to turn it off. And I think that's my problem. And I've been in therapy and you yelled at me again. Thank you, Joe, for subscribing. It screamed in my ear. It's so loud for me on my end.
I didn't know what you were screaming about. I forgot. Me either. I was like, it's like, did your therapist text you when you said that?
Yeah. I'm sorry. My therapist triggered me saying therapy. I was like, oh shit.
Like, hey, I'm watching you. Remember confidentiality.
No, I don't know. She can't. Do you think our therapists watch us? That's a whole nother discussion. I can't even. I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't. They can't. Do they watch us?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I haven't been to therapy in years.
Mine doesn't.
I hope mine doesn't. Oh my god. Oh, but yeah. But that's me. That's my juice. Oh, I got it. Started working in esports like a year ago. Video production maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. And then social media since like I don't know MySpace. I've been coding that shit. So let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, if you have a MySpace experience, you can do anything.
I got it. And that's me. What about you, Miss Angela?
Yeah, tell us about you. I'm curious.
So when did you get started? You know, for the longest time, I felt like I was pretty like lost in what I wanted to do. I have really bad ADHD, OCD, so I feel like I can just like pick up something and learn it right away, which was always my problem. Like I pick up a hobby, I do it, and then I suck at it, and then I'm so like discouraged because it's like you want to get it right away. So like with makeup, I feel like it was the one thing that like I could sit in front of the mirror and like do something and not think, because I feel like I'm constantly thinking, I'm constantly having like 800 billion thoughts in my head. But like when you find that one thing that you really like to do and like just zone out on, that's how I felt with makeup. And, you know, like expressing yourself and being creative, like I'm all for that. I love completely transforming myself, looking weird, being cool. Like I don't give a fuck, you know? There's many times where I felt like discouraged and, you know, I've done a makeup look and I just take it off and hate it. But I mean, that's all part of learning and doing your thing. How do you find work? That's really hard. I feel like
I don't know how to answer that one.
Sometimes it's just a miracle, you know? I feel like the biggest thing that I did was working with Motionless in White. Chris had brought me onto one of the shows for their Scranton show. And that was insane. I was really grateful to be able to do that. Before anybody was there, like he took me onto the stage and I was just like looking out into the crowd. And I mean, like there was nobody there, but like you could see all the chairs. And I mean, my mouth just dropped, you know, I mean, I can't even, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like so speechless. I'm like, I have to do your makeup in front of all these people.
You
like,
killed it that night.
Thank you. I was like, they're gonna see that. And in the middle of me doing it, I mean, he's like, I don't know if you're familiar with WWE, but like I'm filming a video for Rhea Ripley because I'm doing like her entrance song. And like at the time I was like, what? Like, okay, like that's fine. But on the inside I was screaming because I'm like, I could just fuck this up, you know?
That's awesome.
And so that was like the biggest moment for me because I feel like, you know, seeing such positive reaction to like the makeup that I did, I was like, you know what, I'm doing something right. And I just been doing like music videos and for other people and other artists, and I fucking love it. Like it's really so much fun. I love being able to work with others and being creative and working with other people who are also like super creative and bringing their ideas to life. Me just rambling, word vomiting.
No, it's good.
You're right.
And then my least favorite aspect, I find that this field, working in the makeup field, being an artist, is very competitive. You know, you find like a group of people who like, you know, you support one another and you're there for each other. But then there's another bunch that's just like, they have to be like on top and, you know, they're putting others down to make themselves feel better. And, you know, I hate that shit. Like there's always time to like with your craft, you're always learning. And, you know, I don't like the whole competitive aspects of it, you know?
Is there a cat?
Yeah. Is that a kitty?
Is that a kitty?
Oh my God, it's the baby.
Hi, little boy. What a cute little boy.
My name's Vesper. He came to say hi.
Hi,
He's so handsome.
He's just loving the chin scratches. Look at him. Oh my God, buddy.
I love
You're the star of the internet.
I love you, Vesper.
And this is the cat that you adopted. Like you took us all on a journey. Like you tweeted about it and everything, right? This is the one.
Yeah, this is my midlife crisis purchase. I was like, I need something to make me happy, and he's getting so big.
Oh,
He's so good at face. What a
He's
vibe.
so good. He's like the best cat I've ever had. He's just so easy to love. He's not destructive. But yeah, I was like, I think I'm getting a cat. Guys, I'm so getting a cat. And it was like $80.
the whole internet is like, yes.
That's it?
Yeah, it was like $80, neutered, vaccinated, chipped, not an asshole, which is rare in their breed. Their whole species. Yeah. So I was like, this is my midlife crisis. I think I did pretty good.
I think that's the best crisis purchase you could have made.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's all now on my lap. And
I know. I was gonna say hi, Brazil.
We got hi, Brazil.
Come to Brazil.
Hello. Oh man, this chat went off when the cat showed up.
I didn't start the show. Sorry.
Does anyone else have a cat? Like, let's see more cats.
Yeah,
Show us them kitties.
He's purring right now. You might get the purring. He's just like so happy.
Oh, he's so freaking cute.
He's
So
like
cute.
He has to come with us on
You're such a good boy. Yes. Look at this. Like, what cat can you do this to?
It's like
freaking Noodle.
Yeah. No, that was actually going to be one of his names.
Noodle?
Noodle.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Or Beans or Ozzy, but we
Beans.
settled on Vesper.
Beans.
Yeah, Beans.
Beans is good too.
I love that.
I love Beans.
Yeah.
I guess
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Angela, that's like such a Chris thing to do. He's like, by the way, this is a really big thing and you're doing it. And I'm like, dude, stop. So I just,
I really like
Notorious.
Obviously in the moment I was just like, okay. But like on the inside, I was literally throwing up.
Yes.
I don't know. We're just going to work with it. And everybody liked
keep
it.
moving and hope it works out.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, no, the panic, sheer panic.
Yeah.
No big deal,
I'm glad
but you're kind of making or breaking this.
That's literally what it was.
Yeah.
By the way, I was like, you're trusting me right now? I've never touched your face before in my life. So.
Hey, but the look you did is kind of iconic.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was one of the best I've ever seen on him.
Fucking Terminator, come on.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Hello from Scotland.
So well done.
Justin is
Greetings,
here.
Justin.
How are you?
Greetings, Scotland. Scotland.
Hi,
So
Al.
we have a group question.
I hope you're wearing a kilt.
So anyone who feels like they have an answer can answer this. Reputation and recognition is key. How do you promote yourself professionally? What websites and resources do you use?
The gram.
The gram.
The gram. That's my main thing. I think I know that TikTok has become like essential, but I don't want to. It's too much work. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't like the sound of my voice, but I can't stop fucking talking.
You're fine.
Yeah,
Don't
Batman.
apologize. This is a talk show. We're all supposed to talk. You're going to have to get used to it.
More talking.
There.
I love you too, baby. Hi. Oh, thanks for the poop emoji.
Thanks for shitting in the chat.
I love Canva. Canva is one of my favorite apps. Best $125 I've ever spent. Totally worth every fucking penny. I spend so much time editing stuff on there. I can edit on my phone and on desktop, and my projects sync over in real time. They have so many like free resources, and when you pay for it, you get so many stock options. So I use Canva.
That sounded like a promo.
I know. You're gonna pay for this?
I want
By the way,
sponsor us, Canva.
Please.
That's how we made this frame.
Yeah.
This frame is made by Canva by our lovely Melissa Morbid.
I love Canva. It's so great. And I use the free Canva, so you guys can still make cool stuff with the free
This one was
Canva.
made with the
This
free.
mug is big as my head.
Free.
And then
I feel like for me, it's Instagram and then the casting audition sites.
Mm-hmm.
do you have
Yeah.
to be in a guild or something like that to use those, or like can anybody use those, Melissa? These casting sites,
Anyone
what are
can
these?
sign up for audition casting sites. They will ask for your union status, though. So there are going to be projects like if you're not union, you're not going to be able to submit yourself. Or if you do, the casting director will know you're non-union and won't be able to see you for the project. But anyone can join Actors Access, Casting Networks, Casting Frontier. Most of them have a free option, which is going to be really basic, and they're going to make you pay for adding more headshots, that sort of stuff. It's really fun to make actors have to pay to go to interviews. We love that. But
That sounds great.
it's being an actor is so fun. It's great, guys.
Yeah.
Anti-promoting.
Work. Yeah.
When I was growing up studying theater, they were literally like, if there's anything else you can imagine yourself doing, go do that. Like every acting teacher I've ever had has said that to all their students. They're like, it is so hard. Literally, if there's anything else you want to do that.
Do something else.
I love acting, so. But I think, so anyone can sign up. There are also for modeling. There are pages like Model Mayhem. I got my vintage modeling gig through there, and it was not sketch. There are sketchy people on Model Mayhem and Casting Networks, all of them, because anyone can sign up. So you just want to be mindful. If a posting seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, if you get stabbed.
You want to be very, research the casting director. If something feels weird, ask questions. And then also for people would be getting an agent. So you can do that by researching what agent you want to submit to. Pick one that is representing people with a similar resume to you. So if you've never booked big features, you're not a television star, you probably shouldn't go after like Jennifer Lawrence's agent. But, match where you're at, find out what their submission process is. They usually post it on their website, and it's usually an online submission or an email. And you just put your submissions together and send it to them. And if you get an agent, then they will submit you for projects as well.
Amazing.
Tight.
Damn. I learned a lot.
Your industry is insane.
Yeah, seriously.
It's the worst.
I'm basic. I just use Instagram and like Twitter, and occasionally Facebook.
Me too, but I feel like it's such great, it's such a great way to promote yourself.
It's like a spider web of like connections.
But at the same time, I really hate it. I hate that it's something that we have to rely on.
It's rough. It's rough.
Mm-hmm.
There are auditions I can't even submit for because I don't have enough followers.
A lot of like places are very picky about that, which is unfortunate.
I'm like, so studying the craft, actually being a good actor, that doesn't matter, just how many followers I have. And they're like, yes.
I find it kind of crazy that we're seeing like, and I'm not hating, it's just like interesting to me how like we're in an age where we're seeing like popular TikTok people on like the red carpet and like,
oh my god,
like all these huge events. Like it's crazy to me.
It's a little disheartening when you've been studying something your whole life and people who've never done it before getting booked in movies. You're like,
a lot of them aren't even getting booked in movies. They're just like getting invited to like these big red carpet events and galas and stuff. And it's like
most of them you see new music video coming out, and you're like,
everybody's getting a record deal. I'm like, wait a minute.
Like, that's insane.
But that also means we could do it.
I can't afford to
Well, we have
make
to
a
come up
record.
with something if we're going to be opening for Lindsay.
Lindsay, right. I got material.
Well,
you guys are already good enough.
We're just going to be a jackass act.
Yeah.
You're going to be the reality TV show revolved around my live show. This is what's going down. Like, I will have a film crew. We'll just get Bryce out. It'll be mint.
Oh, God.
I have an idea for a reality show that would be so good for us. What if we were like Goth Eye for the normie guy, but guy or girl? I don't know what the word would be. That is, you know what I'm saying? And like, we could have like a makeover element, a Shay getting them like their career in check element, Sasha's getting them their outfit and everything, Angela teaches them how to do makeup, Lindsay comes in and is like, this is how to be a boss ass bitch in your life. I guess I take them to the alien planet, and then
keeping up with
we would have such a good time doing like a, not just like a physical makeover, but it's like we're teaching confidence and stuff like that. It'd be awesome.
I would watch it.
I got reached out to like sometime last year for a show like that where they were doing an episode where they wanted to transform like these normal people into like goths, and they interviewed me and everything, but I guess they like interviewed a handful of people and decided to move forward with somebody else. And I was like, wait a minute, but I do this for a living.
I could do this.
But I literally style people for a living, but they wanted me or whoever they chose, the whole point was to not only dress the people, but educate them on like the goth culture, music, places to go, like all that type of stuff. Sounded fun.
I think we could do it, man. And we wouldn't even have to make the people dress we could stick with their aesthetic, but just help them in their aesthetic. I think it'd be such a great show. If anyone knows a reality producer.
I do, Troy Duvall, but I don't know if he'd pick us up. But I'll write to him. I'll be like, Troy, I got this thing.
I said you would be the food expert, Shay.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I love food. I love all food.
You also can cook like really good.
I love cooking. Lindsay, I know you use Patreon. You've been the Goths Next Door is still fairly new to Patreon, but you've been using Patreon like as a hot minute as like a freelance kind of artist. Like, what is that like for you? Like,
oh, it's a lot of work. I like it, but I've been doing it for coming up 2 years, and the reason I did it is because I had this like folder of music of like pretty okay songs that I like forgot about. And then I was like, I have like a whole album. Like, I have a whole, can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I can hear you.
Good. I was like, did I die? Am I just talking to myself? No. Anyways, I just decided to use the platform to make the music happen. And I think we're like 4 or 5 exclusive songs in, because they also wanted heavy singles in between. I couldn't deprive my fans of heavy music. Like, it can't be all like weird, dark wave Bjork stuff all the time.
Dark wave Bjork stuff. I'm here for it because it's good driving.
I'll send
music.
it to you.
It's good driving music.
It is. It's just like, I'm just discovering other sides of myself. It's very like trip hoppy sounding, and I'm okay with that. But I guess like, I don't know, I've really thrived on Instagram, and I've been told by people in my industry, just don't even bother with TikTok, because unless you're like a cover artist or you're doing like the,
like you're really committing to it.
Yeah, like what's the one where you respond to another TikTok? There's a proper name for it.
Duet.
Yeah, duet. Yeah, like they're like, unless you're doing like stuff like that, like it's just, I'd rather make my own music. But yeah, I was part of like Facebook for a hot minute when it was good, and I definitely did well there. But I think like I mainly just, it's word of mouth. It's just like, Lindsay can do it. I have a 4-octave range. I can sing in quite a few styles, and people are just like, get her, she'll do it.
Did you say
4 octaves? Yeah, hold on, I'll show you on the piano.
Oh my God.
I can
also
sing.
Here's Lynn. I just dropped Lindsay's Patreon in the chat if anyone was trying to find it.
That's my lowest note. And then I can go all the way up to, but I'm not warmed up, and I'm gonna blow the speaker. Let me see if I can, I'll hit a really high one for you. Hold on.
Bro, what?
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, voice of an angel.
That is so cool.
That was so beautiful. Oh my God.
I need you to teach me your ways.
that right
Okay, I can like do that.
Unrelated to work, do you just sing like all the time when you're home alone? Like, I've always wondered, as people with amazing voices,
yeah.
I feel like I would just do it all the time. I would just never stop.
Seriously.
I'm
oh
so
my God.
like, I get sick of my own voice, but like there's 8 songs that I've written for my cat that I just sing to my cat. And I'll just bust out. I'll just bust out to like Queen or like anything, anytime. Like earlier, it's like, Melly, come back. You can blame it all on me. Like I'll just,
Yes.
I'm a theater kid at heart. So yes, I sing all the time at home, and it's really annoying.
I support this.
I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. I was like, are we talking about how we get work and promotion?
Yeah,
My cat was like
that.
going like this at my face, and I missed the question.
I feel like with like, when you're trying to promote your music, and if you're using TikTok as like a main source to promote your music, it gets to a point where your music becomes your content, and you have to keep creating content. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like
you end up
it
writing
just
songs
kind of gets
that
stale.
have to be in a certain loop, knowing.
Yeah, and they
want
have
it
to be like
breakdown.
TikTok trendy when instead of just focusing on something that has really deep substance to it. Not saying that there aren't like artists that use TikTok and have a lot of substance, but I noticed like the vast majority of it, it's just very catchy. Like, everybody's getting down to it for 2 weeks. And I feel like with you're doing it more like the traditional way of, like, this is my music, this is what's coming from my heart, and this is what I legitimately like and want to do, not for like, the masses and the popularity of it and shit.
If that was the case, I would have quit a long time ago. I could not, I know there's ghostwriters out there, and I have mad respect for them and what they're able to do. They're just able, like, Sia is a writer, and there's like Lauren Christie is a writer. She works for like everyone, Korn and Avril Lavigne. And like, they just can get in there and help somebody write a hit. And that's really cool. Like, if that's what you love to do, cool. But like, if I was like told, I'll pay you like $10,000 a month just to crank out tunes for TikTok, it'd be like, it's not worth it. It's like my soul will die. It'll take all my energy. It probably won't be that good because I'll be forcing it. I won't feel any connection to it. So no, you're absolutely right. I'd rather just write my own stuff and put it out on my own terms. I could probably make a lot more money, but like, integrity has kept me poor.
Yeah, well, you're doing it from your heart, not for, like I said, just to be trendy and get it out there. And I mean, it does help. And I see a lot of very small artists going mainstream insanely quick just because they're promoting the music that much on TikTok. But I just, it's just a whole different world on there. It's bizarre. TikTok is like ruling the world now.
Yeah, I see there is a formula and how some artists like blow up, but I find that the ones that are blowing up, it's the major record label behind them just telling them
absolutely
what to do.
Yeah. I noticed the record label. You could kind of see it from a mile away if you know which label is which. Exactly. The way that they promote their artists.
Also, they came out with recently what we've all suspected and we knew for the longest time. TikTok has the ability to go in and make whatever video they want go viral. So if there's a certain song that a record label really wants to make it, they can literally just make a deal with TikTok, and, your video is now viral. So if you're like watching a video and you're just like really confused by it and there's some sort of product placement in it, like they just happen to be holding a McDonald's bag or something. And you're like, there's a whole news articles about how they have this, magic wand over at the TikTok office and they can just inflate whatever videos they want. So that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're being hard on yourself and like, why am I not blowing up? It's like, well, you don't have millions of dollars, sweetheart.
Exactly.
You're not promoting the right thing.
You're like, so sorry.
Use that song.
Well, I guess to our next question, professionalism. What does like professionalism mean to each of us? And like, how do you stay professional when you're in a work environment? Because obviously we're all ratchet. Well, I can't speak for Lindsay because she's a perfect angel baby, but we are all ratchet terrible creatures who crawl out of a gutter. Wait, also Melissa. Okay, so just me and Angela and Sasha are all terrible.
We are the goblins
who crawled out of the gutter.
We all stink.
Maintain a professional attitude.
You know what? Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it depends, like going into like a job and like seeing how they are, then you can kind of like feel out how you can act.
Yeah.
Like I like to be able to be like goofy and make lighthearted like jokes and like, like having a good time, making sure everybody's like comfortable. But like, and then there's certain points where you have to be like, okay, like I'm here for a job. I can't be crazy.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh my God!
Like
my first impression of you versus how hilarious and wild and unhinged you really are. Like when I met you on this set, I'm like, this is like the most professional, serious makeup artist I've ever met. And now getting to know you and your tweets are so funny and hilarious. I'm like, wow! It's like you are such a professional. Like you're such a good worker, hard worker, and such a professional.
So much to me. Thank you.
Like I was hella intimidated by how not just your insane beauty, but you're also the aura you had of like professionalism. It was very much like I'm a boss ass bitch and I'm here to work. Like it was, a good, like, I mean that in a positive way. Like you were it was very professional vibes. I just felt so like, and I love that you can do that. And then you also can have so much fun with yourself too. It's like,
thank you.
That's a way to be.
Yes, exactly.
Screw you guys. I've got a job to do.
I think.
No, I agree.
I think. Sorry, I'm sorry. I think for I'm stumbling all night tonight. I'm so tired still from this weekend. But for me, professionalism is really like you have to be in the moment and you have to be present and like aware of your surroundings. I think sometimes people aren't aware of their surroundings and they'll be like on their phone or like, in an area maybe that they shouldn't be or like talking too loudly when like there's clearly someone nearby making a professional phone call. Like you just have to be like hyper aware of everything around you. And then like Angela said, like go off of everybody else's vibes. And then also you have to have a sense of like being sure about yourself and steady to like, cause and then like it puts other people at ease. So I feel like even just like have like a little bit of like boost your own confidence, just for 10% to be like, you know what, for the next hour, I am Superman. And then like just that, like kind of works, like fake.
You gotta act like you own your shit.
Yeah, own your shit. Because then it'll make you believe it, but it also makes them believe in you a little bit more. So that's like my professionalism is just like, I guess like be on.
Confidence is key for sure. Because I mean, I'm a very insecure, overthinking person, but when I'm, whether I'm on set or at a show or whatever the hell I'm doing, like you kind of have to act like you're not. You have to act like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm here for, like you got to own your shit. Confidence is key. And I also feel like for professionalism, I go off the vibes for sure, but I don't know, kind of echoing what all you guys said, just professionalism, you gotta, I'm overthinking my answer, so I'm stumbling my words.
You're fine.
Professionalism.
Professionalism is being professional, guys.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I've worked a lot of, I feel like over the years, I've done the most work within like the music industry and like all the backstage type of stuff. And you definitely have to be hyper aware of your surroundings and just kind of don't act a fool. Like, like unless you really know the people, don't act foolish. Don't act, like act like you own your shit, but don't act like you own the place, still kind of know where you stand in the environment.
Yeah.
And yeah. That's good.
I like that. Melissa? Lindsay?
I think having some awareness within reason, of course. Obviously, if someone's being like repeatedly abusive to you at work, this is a different situation. But, if you're at work and maybe there's like a slightly, someone's a little sassy or cranky a little bit. we're not talking abuse here or HR stuff. We're talking just like a little, maybe just think about in your response of like, you don't know what they've been going through that day. They could have been having the worst day at work sort of thing, and maybe trying to approach it with being maybe a little patient and kind at work. I also think being mindful of other people and how you can be respectful. And that, I mean, in the sense of like time. So if you're supposed to be somewhere at a certain time, you should be there. It's not, it's such an unprofessional and disrespectful thing to make other people wait on you, things like that. I feel like that's really important, to be respectful of people's time. If there's something you can do to assist with something, I feel like, and it's within your job frame and that sort of thing, and it will assist with the flow and help other people and help efficiency, that sort of thing, I think do that. I think, of course, Angela's comment was spot on with you got to also match the vibe. So I think most of us are pretty silly and eccentric and goofy, but if you get to the set that day and it's not that vibe, that's not the time. As much as we always want to be like, be authentic, be yourself, always professionalism. If everyone there is extremely serious, that's maybe not the time to express that part of your personality, express other parts.
Yeah. Know when.
I feel like something I wanted to add too was, no matter how professional you are, you always should stand your ground, and I feel like that'll make people respect you more, especially in the industry, because I've done a number of music videos where, I was told one thing, show up wearing this, and then I get there and the director is basically like, take all your clothes off. And I was like, listen, that's not what I was told in the emails. I still have them. And I am also just not comfortable with that. That's not what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. You wanted me here, you're going to have to deal with that. And, in this instance, the director was irritated, but I still stood my ground. And I was like, no, because you don't want to be a doormat in any industry that you're in, whether it's music, whether it's modeling, acting, even in like a day-to-day job, just always stand your ground and let people know that you do have boundaries.
Yes. And if it's a boundaries thing, don't listen. If they threaten you with, I'm going to blacklist you, you'll never work in this town again. Like, just you stick
it's always
with yourself. Bullshit. If it's boundaries thing, It's not like they're like, hey, you're late for the 17th time this month. But it's like she was saying, where this is very common in modeling and acting, where they try and get women to be naked when that was not a part of the submission, something like that. And if that's not your comfort level, it doesn't matter what they threaten you with, what they say. It is being professional to know your own boundaries and stick with those. That is still being professional.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, probably reiterating. Yeah, sorry, he's right here looking so at me with all the adoration in the world. He's like, "Hi, Mom." Can't really say Miss Shadow, but yeah, sorry about the purrs, guys.
No, it's
been a long day.
I just love it.
Living his best life on Mom's lap. So shoot, what was I gonna say? Here's such a distraction. If you put holes in my favorite new dress, I swear to God. Okay. Here we go. All right. He's on the floor. He's vanished to the floor. I really think like showing up on time, being really over prepared, especially in music, like practicing till you can go through the music in your sleep, whether you're going on stage or you're going to be in the studio, is huge. And also I think like being a team player, like kind of ties into like the reading the room, like, just kind of helping out. Oh, there's been a mess, or this person needs help setting up this table, or like whatever, like just really being there for the overall team and, supporting people that way when you can. I know, Sasha, if you're wearing like 7-inch heels, like helping set up a table is probably not the best idea for you, but you know what I'm saying.
What I could do with my giant shoes.
I'm going to make you do it on tour.
Hey, I told you I'm fucking ready. I've been training my whole life for this.
Oh yeah, I believe you. So there's that, but like,
thank you.
What's going on here?
Al,
Lots of
bottom
here.
line subs. Thank you, Al. Thank you.
Come on, sub. But yeah, like the biggest thing I like have an issue with, I think like the day of like the drunk rock star is kind of dead. Sobriety is definitely a big thing in our industry now. The only ones who can, do drugs and get drunk and be assholes are the ones who have such a big following. Like they're going to pay them so much money to headline these festivals, and everyone will put up with them and their crap. Speaking of crap, like when I played a festival with Guns N' Roses, they flew in their own toilet seats. There is a photo of it online. I did not make this up. No. One of the crew snapped a shot of it and put it all over the internet. Just so you know, the day of the rock star is not dead yet. So, I don't know if they're assholes. I've never worked with them.
Seats?
Yeah, with their names on it and everything. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like that better be heated from Japan, or like, why did you even fly it out? But yeah, like I think sobriety is really important, because one of my biggest reasons for sobering up was I've been in these situations where I was like, okay, so we're going to do this thing and I'm going to pay, I'm probably going to pay you this much. And they're like, no, I'll do it for this. And then you sober up and they send you in, but like, no, I agree to this price. And I'm like, and now that I'm sober, I can be like, well, I was sober and this is exactly what you said, because people will try to like undercut you. And I've hated being in that scenario. But with, being drunk, there's just a lot of things that can go wrong. And then if you have like narcissists around you, they'll gaslight you and be like, that never happened, but you can't remember because you were drunk. And it's like, no, those days are over for me. And my biggest thing, I think that like, listen, what everyone does in their private time is none of my business, but I'm just going to throw this out there. I think sleeping your way to the top is the worst thing you can do for your career, especially in my genre and in my industry. It is extremely frowned upon. So if you do it, like people are going to be like, do you really care about, your music and your career? Like, why would you do that? It's like
people are going to know.
Yeah, you're taking one step back for women, and you're just giving into this systematic misogyny that exists here already, because they should value you for your art and you paying them to do whatever job it may be, or you making them money. And if someone's like, if you want that, you have to sleep with me, don't do it. It's not worth it, because you may think that it got you a huge opportunity, but everyone else is going to find out and no one's going to respect you. Mm-hmm. And they've seen it happen. And it's like, they're just known as the person who sleeps with everyone. It just, it deteriorates the value of your art form, what you have to offer. You become known as that person. And for all the other women, us out here who are trying to be taken seriously as writers and producers and performers, it sets us back too. Because they're like, dude, why did you go and do that? Now they're going to expect all of us to have to do that. And that's not okay.
Yep. I used to work at a really big music industry convention. And it used to be where you could only get in if you were with the industry or with a company or whatever. But I remember there'd be certain women that would come in, and it was very unfortunate that pretty much all the men in the convention were like, oh, I've slept with her too. Like it's just a big, and it's sad because then you're kind of known as that person, and not slut shaming, but I just feel like, you know, I've been offered so many opportunities too. And the guys are like, oh, I won't charge you if you sleep with me. And I'm just like, no, like, that's not me. I would rather pay the money. That's just me. And it's like, you know, there's always that daunting, like, oh, but I want to do that thing, but I won't go that route. And, you know, it sucks even more because when you do sleep your way to the top, people don't respect you. You know, they just kind of look at you like, you know, you're just throwing yourself around for stuff. And it's sad, you know, when I would see all the men there talking about, you know, these particular women like that, it was just like, damn, like, you guys,
don't let them have that.
You guys y'all are getting something out of it too. Why are you talking all this shit? You know,
it's like one of those.
It's misogyny.
Like, no, you're industry. Yeah, like this is not the industry for that. There are industries like, where you can be doing stuff like that. It's just we're not in those industries, and that's not a move that you make in these industries. Like
it's very hard to get taken seriously as a woman or non-binary. You know, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. But you're like, you sleeping with someone should not be currency for you to further your career. Like it's an intimate thing you share with your partner. You know, it's not okay to devalue women to that level, and women should know their worth more and their value more. And Sasha, it's amazing. I have so much respect for you, like, being it's never been presented to me, but I just think people know not to try it with me because, like, their career could end with me. So
yeah, like, I'm a liability.
Yeah,
I just sleep with people for no favors, so that's where I.
That's how it should be.
If you're gonna sleep with someone, do it because you want to. You know, do it because you want to, not because you feel like, you know, it's an opportunity. Just do it because you want to say, hey, I did the thing with that person. You know.
Yeah. Well, Shay, I hope it was a good time for you, at least. I hope you got that out of it.
I mean, I tried to not sleep in, like, the industry that I was in. It was more like I got to sleep around in an industry adjacent. That's how you do it. Don't sleep around in your industry. Sleep around in the industry adjacent. You know?
Exactly.
Because you're not trying to get any favors, or you just, you know, people, like, it's just more like that. You might end up knowing and being friends with people that are into your industry, and just, like, be cautious about, like, who you're sleeping with, even if you're not trying to do it for favors. Just be cautious of, like, what you're doing and what reputation you're putting out there, because, like, your reputation's huge. Like, so even if in your mind you're not like, oh, I'm not, you know, doing it for favors or whatever, just know that, you know, people are still, as much as, like, we want to be forward thinking and, like, not slut shame, other people are going to, and it sucks and it's a horrible thing, but, like, there
will always be people that will twist the story, and especially if you're in an industry, there's always going to be people that view you as competition and that will, you know, talk their shit about it to make you look bad. Even if you didn't necessarily sleep with these people to get somewhere and you just did it because you wanted to, there's always going to be people that are going to make you look terrible because of it. Yep. Yeah, just be hyper aware, watch your back, always.
Exactly what Lindsay said. It's not currency. In this industry, that's not what we're doing.
Watch your back and wash your ass.
Exactly like y'all said. I'm going to run to the little girls' room. Can someone ask the next question? Because I've been drinking this water, trying to hydrate, and I gotta pee. But if someone else could ask the next question, and I'll be right back.
Wait, where are they going? I'm blind.
The next question, I think we've covered some of it, but if anyone has anything specific to add, is how do we all network, and what are some things to avoid while networking? I would say for me, the thing to avoid with networking is my little neurodivergent brain. Like, I like connecting with people and having deeper conversations that aren't just surface level. and kind of like small talk sort of things. You have to be really careful with like oversharing and that sort of thing. That's for me. I gotta like always be mindful of. I'm like, this isn't like, these aren't the goth girls. I gotta be like, this is work. I don't need to be telling them everything. I just always, feel like an open book, and I want to share and connect with people on a deeper level. But I got to remind myself, like in professional settings, we don't need to go into all those such of things.
I'm really bad at that.
Yeah, same.
I feel like I'm, I could talk to somebody for 5 minutes and I'm already like, so this is my trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's like you want to like have somebody like connect with you. I don't know. I feel like
you want to relate to people.
Yeah, and like let them know like I am human. Me like you, like I don't know.
It's about connection.
I'm not a machine.
I'm not a machine. Like I'm a human being, and
I've been through shit, man. My life ain't perfect.
No,
and I'm
baby Hades joined us.
Oh,
hi, babe. We miss you.
But yeah, I mean, I love everyone. Just kidding.
Wow. It's like I came back to bold-faced lies.
I know.
I think one of the best recommendations I've seen for networking and something I want to be better at is someone was saying like wherever you go for like a work or social or whatever, if it's an area where there are people in your industry there, get everyone's contact information. Like force yourself to do it. Get their contact, whether it's their email, their Instagram, their LinkedIn, whatever. Networking is literally connect. You have to talk, and that can be hard when you have like social anxiety or being neurodivergent. That sort of thing can be difficult, and I guess we practice. I don't know, but I would say that the huge part is finding that, just tell yourself, like set yourself that goal of I'm getting 15 emails tonight or whatever, and then you have these people in your network. That's why it's networking. So that's something I'm trying to work on, is like when I was in that TV pilot, instead of just being like, oh my God, I love everybody, this was such a great cast. At the end, I was like, oh, would it be all right if I followed you on social media? I want to see, what you're doing next.
Yeah, I always carry business cards on me. I have like a stack of them because I am very neurodivergent and I am very bad at talking to everybody. So I'm just kind of like, here's my card. Talk to me there. Like I'll speak to you behind the screen where I'm safe. No, I'm okay at talking to people when I'm like in a business setting, but I still will always carry cards on me just so people have every contact they need and they have like a little bit of information about what I do.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Really smart. I'm the same way.
They have business cards now where you can just like tap it to the phone, so you don't give them anything.
QR code
and
ones,
it just puts. It's not even a QR. It's like a tapping. And it just gives them all your whatever you wanted them to have. That
mine are old school.
That. I want to get one of those ones too.
Yeah, are the business cards in a Goth AF card holder?
I mean,
they are in my purse.
So
floating around.
Yeah.
They're wait, let me. I have one right here.
One of the most important things with networking is just like connecting with people.
Yeah,
like,
right here.
Listen to them as they speak. Oh, those are cute. I want one.
Yeah. Here, take one through the camera.
What if that worked?
Damn it.
Hi, Red Coat Cat. What if
drop
that worked?
one?
You just like. Now you see me.
Huh?
What's that? Oh my God! That's not real. We just did magic. What? We just did magic. I just pulled it through the camera. You passed it through.
I wasn't looking.
Of course you weren't. That's part of the magic trick, dum-dum.
Oh, you're right. My fault.
Now comes the part of the show where it's just Shay being mean to Sasha. She's not
me being clueless. Me being so dumb, I don't even know you're being mean.
I'm sorry, Lindsay. This is going so well.
No, this is great. I don't know. Listen, I have a sister and we pick at each other all the time. This is so much fun. Don't even worry about it.
Did we cover networking pretty well?
Yeah.
So I kind of I could say some stuff on it. I would say don't be don't be a punisher and like message someone a bazillion times.
Oh my God.
That's something that people in my industry, and maybe it's just a language barrier thing. Like it comes off as like manipulative and needy when you're like, hey. And we all know like incels do that. But I'm talking about like bands that are just like, hey, have you listened to my song yet? Hey, follow me. And I'm just like, I don't mean to be a dink. I don't owe you shit. I'm working on my music. Like, unless like you're like, hey, we'll be in Toronto. Would you come out to the show? I'd be like, I might think about it and be like, oh, you want guest list? I'd be like, okay, I might actually show up now. You know, but like it's like, don't badger people, don't punish them. But also I think something that was like really valuable. I read that book. Was it Carnegie? It was like How to Win People and Make Friends. And he had this whole chapter about like, ask people about themselves. They love talking about themselves. So if you can find someone's biggest accomplishment, especially something recent, and if they're inspiring you, and go up to them and ask them how it was and how they're doing and how everything's like, they're going to love you, because people just love to talk about themselves, and you can be a really good listener. Like, boom. The other thing is though, is furthering your education and being resourceful. When I had a friend, she's from out in the sticks, and she said, I don't let people know I'm smart because then they expect things from me. I have done the complete opposite. I have let everyone know I'm smart, and everybody's hitting me up because I know how to do the things. But if you like, you know, I've done digital marketing and social media and e-commerce and music production and all this shit. It's just like when people know that you can do stuff, they're like, oh, I might hire you or like pick your brain. But there's a lot of like bartering in our industry. That's part of networking. So it's like, hey, if I can hit you up for this, can you hit me up for that? Like, I'm going to hit up Sasha and be like, can you tell me if this necklace is working with it? You know, and then if you ever need anything, like I actually know a former Playboy bunny. If you ever need anything, like hit me up. Yeah. She made it work. Like, I don't know, 10 years ago, she made a lot of money. So if you want to talk to her,
yes, get that bag.
She can tell you how to hustle that Playboy bunny stuff. So you know what I mean? And that's networking, and we're doing it live here on Twitch. I hope y'all are taking notes.
Yeah. You better have your notepads out.
There was someone in this chat who was thanking us for doing this. Black Dahlia.
Hi, you're welcome.
She's studying music business and whatnot. So that's very exciting.
Cool.
Welcome. I hope you're learning and taking notes, just as Lindsay said.
You're welcome. No.
Okay, here's a fun question that I know is going to get a groan from all of us immediately. How do we handle mansplaining on the job?
I don't. I just walk away usually, or I just tune them out, and I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. I'm doing something. I'm busy.
I had this happen to me recently, and I'm not going to work with them because I don't need them. And they lost themselves $20,000 of my hard-earned money because of mansplaining me. Because God forbid a woman produces and writes her own music. God forbid. And I got talked to like I was stupid. And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, bye.
Like I can find other people to work with. Bye.
Absolutely. What the fuck?
Well, they lost it, and that's the thing. They don't understand that their behavior has lost them. They'll know eventually. I'm going to ride this one out a little bit. They'll know one day. Be like, the way you spoke to her after, like, I don't even think they looked me up and saw I've been doing this for 22 years and how many major albums I've had on major labels. And they're just like talking to me like I'm a green 20-year-old who has no idea what they're doing in the studio.
That's so frustrating. Oh,
I was
good on you though for dropping them.
Good for you. Yeah, good on you.
Fuck. Yeah,
I got other people.
Don't ever give people what they want when they're acting like that. Be respectful always. And that's just part of like standing your ground.
And it's like, let's say I actually took this job and I continued to work with this person by proxy because I was actually hiring one of their people. And like, I'd have to deal with them for like scheduling and payments. Like you go through it and you're not respected and you're talked to like you're stupid, and it starts to affect your mental health, which starts to affect your energy, which starts to affect your creativity. And it takes away from all the good shit you have inside of you to make the best album, you know, I've ever made. Maybe, I don't know yet. That's for the world to decide. But like, it's so not okay to give people like who talk to you like that your money and to go through with the project. Like I've been like, I'm going to tough it out. I'm going to tough it out with being in circles where people like mansplain and don't respect me. And by the end of it, I'm like, it wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. Like I came out of that feeling like empty and used and gross. So yeah, don't do it. But anyway, sorry, anyone else? How do you deal with mansplaining?
I had an episode that was just so frustrating for me, and maintaining the professionalism was the prime directive to stay just calm. And I think that's a really good thing with it, is to know, one, that you're not a punching bag. You're not someone's punching bag. And if someone's being rude or disrespectful, you don't have to take that. Even at work, you don't have to accept that sort of thing. You can always just tell someone, I hope you have a great day, and walk away. Or thank you so much for sharing that opinion with me, and walking away. But for me, this one situation, so part of what I do is I'm a product specialist, a narrator, talking car for an automotive company that makes hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. So I've worked a lot of events where I'm the specialist talking to people about hydrogen fuel cell and how it works. I had an event where me and all of my fellow specialists were all women presenting, and all of the brand ambassadors who have not gone through any training were all male presenting. And I had multiple men who would come and ask questions about the technology to the men, and they're not trained, and the only training they do have is to defer questions to us. And these guys would literally keep asking the questions to the man and then not look at me while I answer them, and then keep asking it only to the man. They would not look at any of us women, and they would not acknowledge us. It was just asking the men, because only men could know about cars. It was like flames. It was so frustrating, and just trying to maintain my composure, and I kept just delivering the knowledge that I know I have in a confident and succinct way. It was very difficult. It was very frustrating. But it's just amazing to me how even once he was shown that, with the women are the ones who are going to be answering the questions, they still wouldn't even talk to me or look at us. It was just...
I will say there is something in men with weak egos who cannot stand a woman being smarter than them or better at their job than them. It's just a weak ego thing. God forbid a woman can educate you. God forbid a woman can do your job better than you. And that's where it stems from. It just stems straight up from insecurity. So that's totally why that happened. So you didn't do anything wrong.
No.
You were the smarty pants. You're doing a good job.
Yeah,
but it's just the way this society is set up. It's so damn frustrating.
And that you'd think that I'd be the first person who would like clock, and I do, depending on the situation. I will be the first person to clock someone and put them in line but I also
I'm bringing you on tour.
But I also know in certain situations to pick and choose my battles. And a lot of the times, I will be very honest, I just kind of look them in the face and I just go, okay. And like, I feel like that's my own subtle, because I know there's some people that you work with continuously where it's like, if it's subtle mansplaining, like there's certain boundaries that you do not cross with me. But like for some people, I go, you know what? I don't want to waste my energy on things. Like if I ask a question like, hey, I need to know if we need to use A or B. Like, I'm posting this thing. Like, should I post with A or B? Like, what's the general feel? And they're like, hey, Shay, so we have A and B. So there's different situations where we can use A and B. And you're like, yeah, I just need to know, like, when I use A and when I use B. And they're just like, and I could, like, yell at them and be like, bro, you need to get your fucking shit together. And I go, thank you. So, like, I'm very succinct, but, like, I'm not going to go to war over that, in that professional moment. Because I'm like, this person's just dumb. Like, but if they were being, like, super disrespectful or cross a boundary, like, I know, like, I'll be like, hey, don't. My favorite thing to say is, I'm not sure if you're under the impression that I let everyone speak to me like this, or if you're asking me to make an exception for you to be speaking to me like this, but I would like to evaluate this right now.
And that's professional as fuck.
You're like,
damn.
You're like, yeah. Or if they said something that you're not okay with, you go, that's a very interesting thing to say out loud, because you're not like accusing them of anything. You're just putting emphasis on what came out of their mouth.
Interesting take.
Like,
if they say something horribly awful and they think it's funny, just ask them why it's funny. I'm so sorry, I missed the joke. Could you explain it?
But for me,
literally, if they're like, no, you're like, no, please, I want to be in on it. Why is this funny?
For me, I feel like another microaggressions that like I can't battle it out. So that's for me.
But that's smart. Mm-hmm. I feel like another thing, and it's not necessarily mansplaining, but it's just an annoying thing that men tend to do within industries is like, for example, when I'm working at shows and stuff, like I've conducted VIP, I've done merch, I've done just helping set up stage prep and shit for bands. People will assume that I'm just there either for clout or to get with somebody, like I'm one of the like hoes. And it's very frustrating because it's hard to get taken seriously, because it's like, you know, me or anybody else that's there, you know, that may be a woman or female presenting, you know, I'm here doing a fucking job, you know, like I'm not here because I want to do anything with these dudes, because, you know, off stage, they're just dudes, you know.
And are they ever saying that to the men? Are they saying, oh, you're just doing this so you can sleep with the band?
No, it's just like a chick thing, and it doesn't
only
help
directed
that
at women and non-binary.
And it doesn't help that I'm always dressing up. That's just natural for me. I'm a fucking stylist, but you know, people always just assume I'm there to just make an appearance or something, when that's not the case at all. It's just really hard to be taken seriously in any of these entertaining industries.
They have these like preconceived assumptions or preconceived assumptions. And it's like, I remember my first European tour, we were co-headlining with a band, and after the show, and at the time I had like half green hair before like everybody had it for the most part. And it's like, I was just on stage and I went up to introduce myself and say, thanks for having us on the tour. And one guy asked me if I was the merch girl, and one guy asked me if I was one of the guy's girlfriends. And I was like, so like, you guys are so stupid. Could you just like use your brains for like 5 seconds more and think about like what you asked before like it comes out of your mouth? And I was just like, man, this is so not fun. But luckily in heavy metal, there are a lot more women in the musician role, which is great. It's so good to have so many more women. But it's really, I think sometimes when people speak, they really don't think about what they're saying until it's too late. And they're like, oh my God, I should have never talked to that person like that.
Yeah. And especially like when I'm working at conventions, like when I worked at a music industry convention, my job was to promote this equipment. My phone just fell. To promote equipment, you know, I was doing interviews, I was conducting VIP for the artists that were signing there. And, you know, it was frustrating because people thought, you know, that I was there for those very interesting reasons. And that's not it at all. But that's just how it always is. Especially I feel like in the rock music world, though, it's insanely misogynistic because it is male dominated. And, you know, it's such a thing to have like, well, everybody hates the term, but like groupies, you know? So people always assume that like me or any of the other, you know, women there are groupies when, you know,
so not fair.
Like I said, I'm freaking working here. Like,
I'm working here.
What do you want from me?
She's working.
That's when the Italian comes out of me. That's when I get fucking mad.
I love it.
No.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Sally Skeleton. That drives me up a wall. Or like,
oh, that needs to die.
When I test you, you're like, you know, what? As someone with like memory stuff with the neurodivergent, it's super rude super rude to just be like, oh, because right at this very instant you can't remember something right this second. You're a fake. You're like, man, you just put me on the spot and my memory just went like instantly.
You've seen me do that.
Right? You've been there. You
so
bad. Know, like
I always just piss them off
tell
on
us
purpose.
about yourself. And I'm like, me? I've never met me.
I don't even try. Like when people do that to me, I'll purposely just name the most popular song they have to piss them off and make them leave me alone. Like one time I was at Disneyland and I was wearing a Danzig shirt and a dude came up to me and he was like,
always that band. It's
always Danzig or the Misfits or some, like who doesn't fucking know who they are at this point? Who hasn't Googled them and listened to,
it's not my fault they sold out so hard. Their shit is sold like everywhere.
Dead ass everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah.
I was wearing like a ripped up Danzig shirt and these two like big ass dudes come up to me and they're like, hey, name 3 Danzig songs. And I was like, I don't know, maybe Mother. And then they were like, I knew it. I knew you didn't know anything. And they walked away. And I'm just like, dog, who at this point, again, who doesn't know any fucking Danzig songs if they're going to wear the shirt? He's one of the most popular names in punk. Like,
why is that a thing? Why do people have that desire?
Like, do I look like I don't listen to the Misfits?
No.
Come on.
I always say, can I? Yes. Will I? No.
Nah.
And then you just walk away like, can I? Yeah. Will I? No. I don't work for free. And then just act like whatever you do is money. She's like, I don't
work for free.
Give me $10 a song.
Be like, oh, baby, do you need Wiki? I'm not Wiki. Sorry, baby. I am not the one. But that's if I have an attitude at the time. So I am kind of tired. Before we wrap up, I wanted to end with one question from all of us. What advice do we have to our viewers? Because we are all kind of in industries that are related, but very different at the same time. And we've all had the same struggles and like similar ways of getting in and like ways of exposing ourselves and getting out there and networking. But what advice do we have for people who want to get in our industries or industries that are similar to ours?
I'm going to say work for your work. I always say that.
Angela?
I feel like, you know what? I saw on the internet, people complain and cry all over Twitter about, everything and nothing. And it's like, you're not going to get shit handed to you just by being like, why not me? Why is everybody else wiping my ass? Like, no, like, damn, it's crazy. It really is insane. And that's why I say work for your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very smart.
I know.
Big brain in there. Big brain.
Big brain, big dick. Just be aware of your footprint in general everywhere. Like whatever industry you're trying to get into, people are going to be watching you. And like, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be someone to work with? Did you put out a lot of positivity out in there? And there's nothing wrong with like, if you want to vent and stuff, but like try to even it out, because even if you're going through a bad time, just know that like whatever you're putting out there, if you're trying to get hired right now, people might be looking. So if you want to vent, absolutely maybe put it on your close friends or like certain circumstances, like absolutely vent away, but like, you know what I mean? Like make sure your entire feed isn't like negativity.
Don't do it to the world.
Or make sure you're not like, being really mean to people online a lot, or like your digital footprint is huge. And then just be someone that other people want to work with. Like be someone like Lindsay was saying earlier, I love it so much. I can't stress this enough. Help some people. Like help others when you see they need something. Maybe it's not what is on your work description and like your job description, I'm sorry. But like if someone needs help like carrying something around, or they need someone to stay late and like stuff mailers or something, or they need someone to show up early to like get access to a venue, like do these things, like help each other out, like be someone, be a team player. That's on me. That's my advice.
Yeah, I love it.
I think I would say if you have something that is truly what you want to do, I think you should keep going for it and not take no for an answer. You should keep trying. If this is really what you want to do. We're in a new world, a new age, I feel like, where so much can be possible for you, and people can achieve so much. I think if you really are passionate about something, keep going for your dream. Don't let other people, to deter you off of what you want to do. And at that same token, I think don't bottle yourself down with perfectionism. I always butcher the phrase, but my friend told me this phrase of something about like launch your 80%. I'm not articulating it correctly, but basically you don't need to have every single thing at that perfect 100%. It's better to put yourself out there and be seen. And it's, you're still something you worked on. It's 80%. We're not saying send your 20%, something that you haven't put effort into, but something doesn't have to be perfect. We are our harshest critics. And if you keep waiting for it to be this is where it's like, I feel like it's perfect, you might be missing out on growth opportunities, networking opportunities. You have no idea. So I would say launch, if you're wanting to make videos on TikTok, don't make them, you don't have to wait for them to be perfect. Just launch what you want to be doing. But again, of course, like I said, it's not a low percent. So you still have to put in work to what you care about. It needs to be a significant amount of work. That's almost 100%. We're saying don't get so boggled down with having to be perfect. That would be, I'd say be easy on yourself. Be kind. I think a lot of what we've talked about boils down to kindness. Mm-hmm. A lot of it. If you can be kind at your workplace and kind to others.
It's cool to be kind.
Yes.
I remember that shit. I'm not the singer, of course, but go ahead.
Love you, baby. You gotta be cool. Now it's gonna stuck in my head. Is that Veruca Salt? Who is that? No, that's shit. Now I'm gonna find out at 4 a.m. when I can't sleep. I'll just sing it into the Google thing. Okay, what do I say? Advice. I think you have to define what success is for you. You have to really you can be famous and broke. So you might as well define it by what you want to accomplish, because comparison is the theft of joy, as we know. So just make those goals and just be if I can accomplish these, I will be happy. Because if you just keep going after fame and money, it's never really going to fulfill you. But I think the most important thing is to be successful too is a winner's attitude. You don't really get ahead if you play the victim. And I see that a lot. I find people who are champions, they're thriving, versus victims are always just kind of surviving. And I think just having that attitude adjustment really changes everything. Because if you stay in that mid, the people you said complaining on Twitter attitude, it really self-sabotages. And I've met these incredibly talented musicians who are disgruntled about the modern world and doing press and doing social media. And I'm you can stay stagnant in your opinions. I'm going to thrive in my options, because I don't like doing it either, but I love what I do so much that I would rather suffer through trying to figure out Twitch tonight. We had to, because, I was I'm not letting these ladies down. I'm not quitting yet. But that's kind of been the attitude that I've carried. And I think that's what people want to work with. And it shows in everything you do. And also just don't give up, but show up 110% every time. Give it your all and you will get places.
Yes, absolutely. I think also, be genuine, be kind, don't even attempt to social climb in any way, because people talk, people will see it, people will know. And, again, like they all said, don't sit around and whine, because no one's going to want to work with you. They're going to view you as you're going to drag your feet and you're going to complain the whole time. That's how you're making yourself look. Just be vigilant, be on top of your stuff. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, because you don't know where they're at. You could compare yourself to somebody that you see on social media, but their life could be completely different off screen. I've seen people that, I've heard of people that, will just bring multiple outfits to, a place and take a bunch of pictures and post it throughout time. So it looks like, they're somewhere every day when they're not. They're just at home, just kind of posting it.
Everything is fake
throughout the month. But everybody does that. Everything is fake, and just focus on yourself. Focus on what you want to be and what you want to do. And like Lindsay said, money is not everything. It will not buy your happiness. It will not buy your success, because at the end of the day, you have to do what makes you feel right.
Hell yeah.
Period.
Oh my God.
Period.
I feel like this has been such an amazing stream. Lindsay, you had so
Very insightful.
so much sage wisdom, my friend.
I'm happy to
This is
help.
amazing.
Thank you for having me. This was honestly so much fun, because like every time I watch your streams, I'm like, I want to know what they're doing and what they're working on and how they do the thing and how they got to doing the thing, and being able to do this tonight is like awesome for me. But next time I'm going to join y'all, I will be off screen in my pajamas, disheveled in bed. So that's usually how it is when
Totally
I join.
understandable.
I'm half in my pajamas.
It's yes, this episode is over already. I'm so sorry, but we do this every Tuesday.
Sorry, gang.
And next
Every Tuesday,
we're going to be having a watch party. So we are going to figure out what we're going to watch, and we will let you guys know. Maybe we'll have you vote on it, and then hopefully we'll get some kind of a game together, like a watch party game. It could be a drinking game, but we're not promoting drinking. If you don't want to drink, that's totally cool. We also encourage hydration, or you could I don't know,
water friend,
kitty kisses or something like that. I'm gonna kidnap my cat and be like, every time this happens, kiss your cat, and I'm gonna strangle my little ginger cat. But I'm gonna come up with something. So. We'll keep you posted. Lindsay, thank you. Where should
thank you so much,
follow
Lindsay.
you? Promote. Give yourself the promotions. We're Patreon. All this. Tell us.
You can just go to my website. It's lindsayschoolcraft.com. I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Lynn's Riot, LINDZ Riot. That's my first girl punk band stage name. That's why I've kept it. I'm like, I won't let this die. And I'm also on the Book of Faces, and patreon.com/Lindsay Schoolcraft. I'm working on a new album. I'm dropping little clips of the demos I'm working on with Rocky. I have a podcast, like all the fun shit's on there. So just go check it out, see if it's for you. And thanks so much for having me. Thanks to everyone who joined.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for being a part.
And as usual, we're so grateful to our Hell Hotties tier on Patreon.
Yes.
So thank you to our Hell Hotties, Redcoat Kez. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
On that note, we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, babe.
Bye, guys.
Bye.